Hi, good morning, everybody. So, hello, everyone. This is gonna be one of those videos that I sort of do a bit of a disclosure on. It's a bit personal, but I think every time you want to heal from something, it's good to be able to discuss it. So I feel I've kind of healed, but it's something that might be able to help somebody. So when I was in Ireland many years ago, in 2003, I was selected to do Miss Ireland. So I was very fortunate. I did something called Miss VIP, which is a magazine. The editor at the time is Emma Riley Highland, and Gerard Brady was the sub editor, and they selected me. We had quite a few girls. All the other girls were like white Irish. I was the only black Irish. So we did a competition, and I was selected to represent the magazine at Miss Ireland. So it was a very surreal time for myself, because I remember I called my sister in. She came for the winery at the end, so the wine and everything. We were having champagne at the end, and I didn't expect, obviously, to win, because I was surrounded by all these white Irish girls. So I just thought, oh, she's just gonna go to one of those. But at least I'm lucky I made it to the semi-finals. Because once you were called in, it meant you've made it to the semi-finals of Miss Island, and you're always gonna have that. So I was like, oh, this is just so. I'm very fortunate. Like, I'm not. It's not I'm very fortunate, but I'm just happy with what's happened already. So whether it happens or it doesn't happen, I'm so okay. And then in the end of the obviously all the winnings, all the things we were doing, we had to do like a swimsuit. There was a funny part where just running, coming up to the days before we were actually had to do the show. We actually had to do, basically to come in and do all the dressing and all that. They didn't know I was a black girl, so they called me. One of the girls was doing the sunbeds, to do the not the sunbed but the tanning. They called me. And so I said, hi, are you coming in for your tanning appointment? I said, well, I'm actually a black girl. He's like, oh, sorry, they told us there was one black girl and we didn't know. So I was like, okay, it's fine. She was apologizing typically. Seriously, for so much for about 10 minutes on the phone. I said, no, it's fine. Like, she was so scared. She was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I called. And they did tell me, I just didn't make sure the name, only because I did all my courses. I did my leaving cert, which is equivalent of your GCSEs, and also my. At the time, I hadn't done my degree, so I had only done my childcare course. So it was a childcare certificate, and also a diploma in childcare. So the childcare certificate and the Montessori certificate. So I had those two done, and everything I done. Because I still use the name Flynn. I signed the name Flynn in my Irish passport. So I was actually known as Leah Flynn, and I only dropped the Flynn part when I appeared in the church in UK, only for deliverance purposes. The man of God told me to drop the name Flynn, never to use it again. For deliverance purposes, and a lot of people don't know that. I do have an Irish surname. I just don't use it. I use it in my passport, but I don't use it every day. So a lot of people just presume I grew up in Africa and I was brought up in Africa. They actually don't completely comprehend that I actually only moved to Ireland when I was much older, probably about 15, 14. Went straight into school. It was a transition year, and then I went in to do my GCSEs, fifth year, which was nice, was cool, and then my GCSEs. So I haven't got that African upbringing, so I went in for this competition. It was absolutely amazing. And eventually, obviously, there we all are waiting to hear who's going to win. Because of the photographs, they brought in one of the guys who's a TV presenter. It was so funny because I used to watch him all the time, and he was just standing there and I was literally shaking, but I was trying not to look like I'm shaking. I was wearing a little white number at the bottom, like a little white skirt, a little white number, and I had like some heels. They dressed me up. They did do me up quite well. We did have a swimwear kind of thing where you have to show because you want to see what kind of body you have. I was the biggest girl. I'm size 12 at the time, but they didn't seem to care. Now, that's one thing I noticed. All the girls were string thin, and I was like a size 12. And I remember mom just was very easygoing about this thing. She'd be like, okay, I'll pray for you. In our family, we were like, and then my sister turned up and she was sitting there like thinking, saying to her friends, oh, my sister last year, she just got the crown African Queen Island. Now we're here again. Now we're just back again in this, so we can see what's going to happen. She had brought her on. She had decided to come with her friend. So they were there having a few drinks together, waiting, and obviously being the only black girl there sitting drinking, and her friends, they all knew must be the sister of the black girl in the competition. So we were all doing that, whatever, and we did like a little snippet where you talk to the audiences at home. So this would be aired all over the country. So you kind of would say, what would you do if you won, blah, blah, blah. Been, working with kids for so many years. Like I've worked in like about 10 nursery schools, 10 crèches, because obviously I adore kids, mostly toddlers, babies and toddlers, and then I once did preschool. It was absolutely hectic. I mean, those kids, they won over me. They were completely controlling me. I had to be taken out of that room. I literally felt like I was a kid myself. The kids completely controlled me. There was absolutely nothing I could do. I was like, guys, you need to be quiet. They would literally just do their own thing. It was absolutely hilarious. They said, you know what, we're going to get you back into the toddlers because it seems to suit you better. But it was amazing. It was a really good experience. I mean, it's just they have their own minds and they are so determined. The noise level was so much, I literally couldn't think. But that is just how they liked it. And then I remember the best time I had with them. I mean, before obviously I was moved rooms to a toddler room where I was in charge. I was actually the only one in the toddler room. When we had Halloween. So the preschoolers, they come in dressed as, because I mean, where I worked, and to be honest, all the people I've worked with, most of my Irish friends, they're not really Christians. They don't really believe in the Christian God. They will go to a Catholic church if it's like there is a confirmation, and let's say there is a confirmation, or was a wedding, or there was a funeral. So I was brought up with people who were very kind, nice and loving, but they're just not Christians. So the only person I knew who's Christian was my own mom. She'd spend all her life on her knees, praying. And that was me, so I never went to church. But here was this kids that come in, absolutely disastrous. They came in like for the Halloween wearing amazing outfits. They were like in this gorgeous outfits. You have some coming in with like little wands because they're going to be the witch for the day. I had others coming in as Spider-Man, like they walk in and be like, look miss, da da da. And I'm like, oh yeah, come in, we're gonna have story time for the morning. So you make sure you're all set for your story time and pack your things away, put your little snacks or whatever, we put them, and then just get yourself ready, and you can start reading your own books and all that kind of thing. So I just waiting because I have to take about a time before like 10 of them came and sat. And